Hi, this is going to be a quick video on how to do captioning in our YouTube on Concordia's YouTube channel. So I'm going to quick bounce over to a screen here where I've got a playlist open. So let me bounce over that. So now you should be seeing a list here, and I'm going to grab the thyroid labs. I'm going to grab this video, and let's say I want to caption this. So I'm going to click on it. And one thing I want to point out is
Hi,
that,
everyone.
let me
This is Dr.
stop, pause that quick. If it has this CC right here, that means that the auto closed captions have been generated. Now, sometimes this isn't coming up over here, but if you should be able to, when you scroll over the video, it should be able to show you, it'll come up and say captions, and then it'll say English, and it'll say auto-generated. I'm not sure why it's not coming up today, but that's how you can tell if it's auto-generated. Okay, so I know this one is auto-generated because I have not done any captioning for this. So to go into this one, first what I'm going to do is gonna go click on it.
Hi, everyone. This is
I'm gonna
Dr.
click
Ames,
on
and we're going to
edit
talk about
video. Okay, so if you edit the video, then it'll take you into the behind the scenes information here. And you want to look for the area that is called subtitles here. So if we're on the right hand side, scroll down and it's subtitles. Click on the subtitles here, and the text will pop in here, and then you want to actually listen to the video.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Ames, and we're going to talk about thyroid labs in this short lecture. We're going to.
Okay, so what I would do with this one is I would say, hi, everyone. And what you want to do is you want to capitalize sentences so that students who are watching the captions can understand. And you want to add punctuation so they can interpret, how that is supposed to be spoken. So she's saying, hi, everyone. This is Dr. Ames, and we're going to talk about thyroid labs in this short lecture. Okay. Now, I would add a period there at the end because that's how she says it. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Ames, and we're going to talk about thyroid labs in the short lecture, period. And then she's starting a new sentence. We're going to focus mostly on hypothyroidism labs. So let me see how that sounds when she says the rest of this.
Focus mostly on hypothyroidism labs. We'll touch a little bit on labs for hyperthyroidism.
Okay, so she says we're going to focus mostly on hyperthyroidism labs. And we probably don't need that capitalized. And then she's new sentence. We'll touch a little bit on labs or hyperthyroidism. So basically what you want to do is you want to listen to the way she's talking and help the student be able to see where a sentence begins and where it ends. And if they add things like or if they even say something wrong, you want to leave that in there because you want that to keep up you want the timing to be consistent, because you want the captions to show up according to the timing. So if you edit out the words that are like or where they stumble, then your captions are going to be off at the bottom of the page. Because what we want is, if you can see over here on the right side, the captions will show up right at the bottom of the screen. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're finished with the captions, you can say done. And then what'll happen is those should generate and save. So if I go back into subtitles, it should see how it says, hi, everyone. This is Dr. Ames, and we're going to talk about thyroid labs in this short lecture. Okay, that's the other thing I talked about, is see how the timing this is going to show up on one caption bubble on a page, and then this next one is a caption bubble here. So, and you'll notice down at the bottom, you can see where a caption ends and where it starts another one. The other thing to keep in mind with this is with the YouTube, I've noticed that it can be about maybe 90 to 95% accurate. But the one thing I've noticed with YouTube is when you get into courses like nursing, I've done a lot of captioning for nursing courses. They usually get the name of the instructor wrong and things that are kind of not really common knowledge. But the other thing that they get wrong is words like hypothyroidism. A lot of times, if there was a word hypothyroidism, they might confuse it with hyperthyroidism, which are totally opposite things. So that's where you want to listen to what the instructor is saying and make sure that the captioning is correct. And with nursing, you do have to go through and listen to what they're saying and then make sure the caption is reflecting it. Things like macro versus macro, anaerobic versus aerobic. I've seen things where the auto-generated captions were saying something that was totally wrong information. It was totally opposite. Sometimes it will put something in there, or it'll put a word like not or no in there by mistake. So that's where you got to watch it and listen and make sure it makes sense. And with this, you want to look at what's on the screen in the video, because a lot of times what will help you is if you're not sure what they're saying, you can look at the PowerPoint slides that will be in the video. That's what they'll be narrating. And the other thing that you can do is sometimes if you can't quite make it out, you can put it in Google and it'll bring up a context, and then you'll be able to tell what they're trying to say. Now, if you're not sure, you can always, if you can't find it any other way, you can ask the instructor because we don't want to give incorrect information. So that's what you do is when captioning. And again, there's a lot of people that think that auto-generated, if it's done, it's all good to go. It's all done. It's like, absolutely, I strongly recommend not doing that. I strongly recommend going through and checking to make sure. And I've even had things where if it can't pick up the way the speaker is speaking, let's say there's an accent or it just is not understanding how that speaker's talking. I've had situations where it's mangled the content, or I've had it where it's put in swear words. Things that we really want to look through to make sure that captioning is more accurate. So again, when you've done your editing, you can do done, and there it is. And then let's save this. So we want to save the file. It says English subtitles published. It just popped up and said that at the bottom. But we want to hit save as well. And then we go out of this Thyroid Labs, and then we go back in. Those captions should appear corrected. So let me go out of that. Let's go into the Thyroid Lab. My computer is very slow today. Probably not a good day to be recording this lecture. I'm so sorry about this. Okay, there. You'll notice, hi everyone, this is Dr. Ames, and we're going to talk about Thyroid Labs.
Talk about thyroid labs in this short lecture. We're going to focus mostly on hypothyroidism labs. We'll touch a little bit on labs for hyperthyroidism.
Okay, notice.
But unless you're working in endocrinology.
Okay, notice how she said, now it did catch, she said hypothyroidism, and then she talked about hyperthyroidism. And in this case, it was good because the software, auto-generated software did catch that. So that's awesome that it caught that. But those are things you need to look for. So this looks like it took. So that's how you generate captions in YouTube's. And I'm going to stop sharing and stop the recording.